Hello friends, so prior to now we looked at lots of indices, and that's what we're still looking at up until now. um, Let me just go straight to the point. I have talked about the fractional law, right? What is called the fractional law, and that is saying that when the power or the exponent of a base is a fraction, then there's a way we treat it. There's a law that governs that. For example, if you have, let's say, y raised to the power of a over b, where a over b is the power itself, and it is a fraction, a over b is a fraction, then this solution would be the b root of y all to the power of a. So this was what we looked at, and we solved some examples. One typical example that I think I mentioned over and over again is when you have something like 8 raised to the power of 2 over 3. That will be the third root of 8 to the power of 2. The third root of 8 is 2, so that will be 2 raised to the power of 2. You can leave it like that, or you can leave it as a whole number, which is 4. I hope you got that. If you don't, ask your questions on the comment section. So today I want to look at this rule, which some persons have referred to as the product rule. It tells us that this is also another law. Like I told you, I'm not numbering the laws. It is not necessary, it's not compulsory for the laws to be numbered, right? Just know them, that's the most important. So if you have, let's say you have x raised to the power of a, then you have power b outside, this will become x raised to the power of a b. Why a b? A and b will multiply each other as the new power. Okay, so this is a law of indices. So it's as simple as it seems. It is as easy as it looks. If, for example, on some worked example, you have, let's say, 2 raised to the power of 3, and then you have 4 outside, still power, then I love to say power will multiply power. So that will result to 2 raised to the power of, the new power now become 3 times 4, which is 12. And that's the answer. Or another example is this. Let me use this now. If you have 3 raised to the power of 5, all into brackets 6, the answer will be 3 raised to the power of 5 times 6, 30. And that will be the answer as well. So let me take one more example on that. If you have, let's say, 4 raised to the power of 7, then you have a bracket. Then outside of the bracket, you have, let's say, 3. The answer will be 4 raised to the power of 7 times 3 is 21, and that will be the answer. So that's that about the law, this particular law of indices that says x raised to the power of a b will be equal to x raised to the power of ab. All right, so taken. Okay, now there's also another law that I want to introduce you to. That law is almost similar to this particular one that I just took, and just slightly different. The law says, let me say, it is a law as well. The law says if you have x, multiplied by y, I'm using dot as multiplication, okay, then you have power n. All right, then you have to do what is called the distribution. You have to distribute. The power n will affect each of the elements that you have inside of the brackets. So that will be x raised to the power of n multiplying y raised to the power of n. That's what it means to distribute. And this can also be converted back to this. So this is a law on its own. So if we're taking examples, let's say this is the first example now. If you have 2y raised to the power of, let's say, 3, the answer will be 2 raised to the power of 3, times y raised to the power of 3. You can leave it like this, or you can convert this to a whole number. Now 2 raised to the power of 3 means 2 times 2 times 2, then you have y raised to the power of 3. Now 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, so you have 8y raised to the power of 3. So it can be like this if the question wants you to leave your answer in this way. If the question wants you to leave your answer in index form, then you can leave it like this. So it's as easy as it seems. This is also another example. Suppose you have, let me make it a little difficult. If you have 4 y raised to the power of minus 3. Okay, then you have power 2 outside. This will be the same, or it will be equal to 4 raised to the power of 2 times y raised to the power of minus 3 times 2. You see that we're doing a distribution now. The 2 you have outside of the bracket is going to affect 4, is also going to affect y. And don't forget, y has the power of minus 3, 4 doesn't have. So that's why power will multiply power. This will also affect y, 4 as well. So you can leave it as 4 raised to the power of 2 times y raised to the power of minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. And so you can choose to leave it like this, or you would say 4 raised to the power of 2 is 4 times 4, then times y raised to the power of minus 6. 4 times 4 is 16. 16y raised to the power of minus 6. So you can leave it like this, or you can choose to leave it like this, whichever your teacher wants you to leave it as.